Today we're going to make the passenger section. This is from Intro to CAD Modeling. In order to do this, we're going to learn a couple new skills. We'll learn how to do a fillet in sketch mode, extrude cut, and emboss. All right, to begin this, we will start by making this rectangle here. All right, so the size on that, it's 3.17 for the width, 1.53 for the height. Put down a new sketch. We'll start with a rectangle. .17 and 1.53. Let's double check that we got that correct. Yep, those are the correct dimensions. So the next thing we're going to do is, this is a new skill for us. We're going to put fillets on, which allows us to round the corners here. So you can see this says 4 times a radius of 0.3. All right, so all 4 corners are going to get a fillet of 0.3. Okay, so I choose fillet over here. I want to select the radius of 0.3. And then I want to come around and select the corners I'm going to apply that to. All right, and now instead of having 90-degree angles on the rectangles, we have rounded corners. So we're ready to extrude that. All right, that's going to be extruded here. We can see 3.17 is the depth. Okay, now we have a solid object, all right, that we can work with. So the next thing we need to do is extrude cut some of these sections here. All right, so why don't we begin with this one over here. All right, this is another rectangle with rounded corners. So the rectangle is 2.4 by 0.93. All right, so we'll put a new sketch right here, put my rectangle on there. And it was 2.4. And let me double check the height, 0.93. Okay, now because we have a rectangle on top of an object, not only do we need to get the dimensions correct for the rectangle, we need to get its location correct in reference to the original object. So if we take a look back at the drawing, over here on the right there should be a gap of 0.39, and then up top, all right, there should be a gap of 0.3. So between there and there, 0.3, here to here, 0.39. All right, now we've got that rectangle centered. Now we can put those fillets in again. All right, so the smaller one, we've got 4 with a radius of 0.20. Select the fillet tool. I need to change the radius to 0.2. And go ahead and select my 4 corners. All right, now I can finish the sketch here. And I'm going to select extrude again. All right, but this time instead of a join, this is going to be a cut. So it's going to remove the material there. And I wanted to take the material away at a distance of 0.57. All right, and you can see that material has been cut away. I'm going to do a similar process for the rectangle up top. All right, so we'll begin with the dimensions of the rectangle, 1.98 for the width, 1.59 for the depth. Okay, now like we did before, we've got the rectangle correctly sized. We just need to make sure it goes in the correct location. Okay, so this is 0.6 from the edge, and then it looks like 0.82. All right, as far as front to back goes. All right, now we're ready to put the fillets on. And we've got 4 by radius of 0.20, just like we did before. Finish sketch, extrude, we'll select cut again, and we want to cut away a height of 1.07. And we've removed that part, and we're ready to now remove the part from the back section. Okay, so if I scroll down here, this rectangle is a little bit differently sized than its corresponding one on the other side. Looks like it's 2.5 by 1 inch. Okay, and again, we have the correct size for the rectangle, but we need to locate it correctly. All right, so from top to bottom, we've got a gap of 0.27, left and right 0.34. Okay, we're ready for our fillets. And again, it's 4 by radius of 0.20. and we will extrude cut that at a depth of 0.57. Need to select cut. Nope, I screwed up. Let's try that again. Select cut and my profile. I think before I had it going in the wrong direction, this time in the correct direction. It will cut away. Okay, we have a couple more steps. The next thing we'll do is we'll put this notch through on both sides. We can get a detailed drawing here. We can see it's really just a square 0.06 by 0.06 that is 0.3 down. So put another sketch here, and we'll zoom in. Okay, so my rectangle is going to be 0.06 by 0.06. And that is 0.3 from the top. And I can do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to extrude cut those two rectangles away. So I select that profile. I want to grab the other profile as well. Let me pan over there. Right now, instead of extruding it a specified distance, we can do all, and then it'll go through the entire object. So let's take a look at that. All right, so you can see we now have that notch extrude cut all the way through. Same thing on the other side. All right, so now we're ready to put the emboss of the T9 on. Okay, so to do that, we're going to put another sketch on the right side here. And we're going to use the text tool. And we'll go ahead and type in T9. All right, now let's see if we can move that around. They didn't specify a location for this. All right, but that looks a little bit better there. Now you can also see the T is a little bit larger than the 9, so I think what I'll do is maybe make the T 0.2 and keep the 9 at the 0.12. Okay, so to emboss that, we're going to select the Emboss tool. And we're going to select our text there. And it says to use a depth of 0.02 on the emboss. Okay, now if we zoom in, you can see it is embossed. It's like it's extruded out of the object. All right, so we'll get some color on here to make it stand out. If we right-click on the surface of the T, we can select Properties, and we'll go ahead and make that black. We'll do the same thing with the 9. And then for everything else, let's try this birch natural polished. All right, and that is the passenger section. That can go ahead and be saved.